JD here, and as you can see, we are back on iRacing once again, and in today's video,
It takes it is clear.
we are driving the Formula V cars at a track that I did F4 at recently. It's a track in Norway, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name because I know I will absolutely butcher it. But this is a standard race. See, we've managed to get my iRating up. I think it was 2K at this point, so we've been making quite good progress. Gotten into Class C as well, and we have a level 4 iRating, 4K iRating driver in here, which if you get to that, then you are a pretty decent level. So this is actually my qualifying lap. So the format is quite similar for all categories. In this one, it's an 8-minute qualifying. You get 2 flying laps, and then it's followed by a 12-minute race. And you can see by the title of this video, this was definitely my most intense race so far. And I have to say, Formula V is one of my favourite categories to drive. The only thing that is a bit annoying is that we only have 12 drivers. I'd love it if you had 20 plus drivers in here, because they are just so fun to drive. It's very reminiscent of driving a go-kart, which I used to do back in the day, and this circuit as well. The combination, I feel, is just absolutely perfect. So I've been really improving in iRacing quite a lot recently, and Formula V is one of my specialities. And coming around here, I really did enjoy this circuit, and yeah, looking forward to this competition, because there's some guys in here who are a much higher iRating, and on this game, if you have a higher iRating, you don't get there without a reason. You are actually good and experienced at the game. So coming around the last corner now, the lap has been fairly mediocre, because if you validate one corner, your lap is over, and the lap is quite long around here. And coming across the line, what's this going to be? It's a 38.3, which puts me up into P2, but then we did actually start P3. But
12
as we're waiting for the lights here,
P3.
something that keeps happening to me in this car.
Heads up, we're going green.
So waiting for the lights to go out, and you're about to see here now.
Go.
It goes back to neutral. I'm not sure what has happened there, and as a result of that, we've gone from P3 down to, I believe,
On your right.
P6. So a
Still there.
really nightmare start,
Right.
and the 2 leaders, who are very good, they have managed to get away pretty nicely. So at this point, I was pretty determined to get back past, because if you lose the slipstream of the cars up ahead and if the leaders get away, it's kind of like go-karts again. They can just kind of tow each other, slipstream each other. So making their way down the inside of this guy. So I managed to
He's still there. Clear
regain one of those positions back. So back up into P5, and I need to clear these 2 cars ahead of me, because you can see the 2 leaders are getting away almost immediately. So I need to get past these 2 as quick as I possibly can, because my race pace, as always, very similar to F1, my race pace is always better than the qualifying pace. Just need to get used to pushing to the limits over a lap more. So we're going to go down the inside of this orange car into this hairpin.
Left side.
And is he going to be clean?
Clear
Yes, he
left.
is. So he lets me go, and now we're up into P4. So managing to get 2 positions back on this first lap. You can see the guy in third is a little bit of a gap forming between. You can see he's actually gone really wide here, so it's absolutely essential that we get past this guy. Otherwise, it might be quite hard for us to actually close down the leader. So cut through this last corner, which seems to be going on forever. It reminds me of like a China turn 1 in a way. But the slipstream in these cars are very powerful. So let's see what happens here. And going into this turn 1, it's going to be quite an easy move.
Car
but
right.
is he going to fight this round the outside? That's what I was
Still
really
there.
hoping he wouldn't do. But you can see by the mirror,
Clear right. P3.
he gives us a position. And now we are back into our original starting position of P3.
You've got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes to go.
But we've got 10 minutes, as my engineer is telling me, to go in this race. And 10 minutes isn't that many laps. And you can see the gap is about 1.5 seconds, which in these cars, you need to be within just within a second. So about a second, that's where you start picking up the slipstream. So I've got to deliver the race pace of my life now to catch these two. You can see just using every single inch of the track here. And I was really hoping they would start battling. I've already broken the slipstream of the car behind, so no real pressure there. I can just focus fully ahead and let's try and unleash this race pace to catch up to these two, because the guy in the lead at the moment is the 4K rating, and the guy ahead of him, or ahead of me, is also on a pretty good rating himself in an A class, so he's definitely quite experienced. So you can see using just every inch of the track, but making sure we don't get those track invalidations, because if you do get track invalidations, that really affects your safety rating, and the safety rating is what allows you to progress through the licenses. But you can see here now, we've actually made quite a bit of inroads on these guys up ahead.
The leader has just done a 138.5.
So
the guy ahead has just posted a 138.5. P3.
And you might notice my engineer has changed. I've actually downloaded Crew Chief, which many of you guys suggested, so thank you so much for that, because it does give you a lot more information than what the standard iRacing engineer does. So as always, if you do enjoy these videos, please like it, please comment down below what you would like to see next, what you would like me to try next. I think the next on my list is probably trying this game in VR, because I have been told it's one of the best experiences ever playing iRacing in VR. You can't really get much more immersive than that. But you can see here now the gap has kind of stayed the same here, and they're not really battling too much, because I think they're quite conscious that I'm actually closing in with a little bit more speed. So trying to work together. These two guys are experienced as well, and
gap to Khan behind is now 1.4.
And they know that if I get within the slipstream, then it's going to turn very quickly from a 2-horse battle into a 3-horse race. So coming through into here, really try and maximize as much as we can. Still using the Moser wheel, which is my primary wheel right now, which again I will be releasing a review on very shortly. It's absolutely amazing in a nutshell. Just really can feel all the forces. Direct drive as well, and it might be less powerful than a DD1, but
fastest lap for Garcia, 138.2.
Certainly delivering.
2/10 off the pace in sector 1.
As mentioned, giving an abundance of information here, which the normal iRacing one doesn't really talk to you that much during the race itself. But you can see the gap is slowly but surely coming down, but we need these guys. And you can see he's actually pushing him, so he's actually bump drafting him, which on this game, if you bump draft someone, you don't get any validations or penalty points. You're allowed to bump draft people, so it's like a go-kart race again, just trying to push each other along. So I desperately need to get into the slipstream, and it's through this middle sector. That's where I could be making most of my gains, and really just cutting the track as much as I possibly can. Coming through this sector as well was a very strong one for me, and you can see the gap behind. There's another guy who's actually come up there, sets the fastest lap of the race actually, and he's almost within my slipstream, so I need to make sure.
Okay, James, you're halfway home. Your fuel is fine.
As mentioned again, telling me we're halfway there, so time is very much of the essence and running out. And we are so close to getting the slipstream. So go through into here, this last sector. This is where we need to try and maximize it. Running very out wide, but we didn't get a track invalidation. So it's really important to know exactly where the limits are of each circuit, because when you join an event, it does tell you on the information screen of where the track limits exactly are. And unlike F122, where they're quite inconsistent and it's really based off speed,
the gap to Garcia in front is now 1.3 seconds. The leader's just done a 138.3. You've just done a 138.0.
But on iRacing, especially is finished telling me that information. If you go out wide, no matter really what the speed, you will get an invalidation. So it is a lot more
5
consistent.
minutes to go. You're looking good for a podium.
So looking good for a podium here. 5 minutes to go, and yeah, still not quite within that slipstream zone right now. So again, this is where we need to be doing it. And it looks like the leader was going a little little bit defensive here, so that's actually going to slow both of these drivers down. The guy with the 4K, I believe, is still leading this race, but you can see going through here. Look how much time we have gained. We're well under a second now. We're actually putting away from this guy behind, and there's another guy, 2 cars further down the field, who's actually at the fastest lap of the race, but it doesn't look like he's going to be within striking distance. And this is the point where I really do need to get within this slipstream zone. And I absolutely love races like this where the competition is just so close together, and I think iRacing does a great job with the iRacing system in getting a very equal pace, so the field is usually very, very close, and we are definitely within range to pick up the slipstream now. And coming through into here, yeah, we're going to get the slipstream, and are these two going to start batting? So right now the guy in second place for the whole race has just been sit behind him, just trying to push him along. But
okay, James, we're matching race pace. You've just done a 137.9.
And we finally dip into the 37, so our pace is looking really good right now. The guy behind, since we're getting the slipstream from these two, he's just falling even further behind, and that's why it's so crucial to stay close to the competition, because we had that bad start. If we didn't get through that field in that first lap and we were another second behind, then I think it would have been very difficult to catch these drivers. But luckily this circuit, most circuits on the Formula V Canada, which change from each week, don't really have that many braking zones, but this one here actually has quite a few, so you can do a lot with the driving. And you can see here now we're getting much closer. It's definitely through this middle sector where we are the strongest. And again, this really reminds me of like a European karting circuit. I absolutely love this track. It is so fun to drive. And in Formula V, although it might be one of the slowest formulas, the racing is incredible. I absolutely love it. So coming through to here into this last sector, getting much closer now. The guy behind is almost 2 seconds here now, so doesn't look like he is going to be a threat in this race, but looks like there's probably going to be maybe 2 laps of this race to go if I can read the timer. So it's not when the timer finishes and then that's the last lap. It anticipates when the 12 minutes will be up, and then it will say its last lap.
Race pace.
You can see through here now they are actually starting to fight, so really becoming a 3-horse race here. And in my mind right now, I'm just kind of thinking how I'm going to go about this. I was thinking about trying to get this guy here, so I really want to be in second coming into this last lap, because it looks like the next lap will be the last lap, but you can see the slipstream, that isn't going to happen. So I really wanted to try and overtake this red car coming into the last lap, but although there's many corners here, it is quite difficult to overtake. So he went a little bit out wide, but there was absolutely no room to go through. And going through into this section, let's see if we can do something here. So really maximizing the track. Was thinking about maybe go down the inside of his left-hander, but he covers it off very nicely. So taking a bit of an alternate line, so we're in faster out. And overall, I think we've actually just lost a bit of time here, and the clock is running out, so we really need to be
half your fuel,
as close as we can coming into this last lap. So getting a really good run coming off this right-hander, and yeah, I didn't really know how to play it at this stage. I just knew that I needed to kind of force the guy ahead of me to make a mistake, or let them battle and then maybe try and pick up one of them on the result of that. So going out wide here, getting out of that dirty air, and then trying to get a really good run. You can see the white flag on the top left. That is the last lap of the race. So one more to go here, and let's see what we can do. So this guy's been second pretty much the entire race. So
one more to go. Keep it together. We'll be on the podium.
So we're going to let these two go together. He's trying to go around the outside, and he's trying to get the inside for here. Is he going to get me done? Yes, he does, but you can see the blue car has run out wide, and now it's given us such a good run coming off here. Can we stay in the slipstream of this red car?
Still there.
Yes, we can. And now it is absolutely now or never. So go around the outside of this right-hander here, and let's see what we can do. This might be our only opportunity to go for the inside. So we're leaving room on this inside, and what are we going to do? Are we going to let him go? But no, we're going to go around the outside to try and get the inside here. So now we're going side by side and into his left hand. If we look at the mirror, He actually backs out,
Clear
and
right.
you can see the smile on my face here. Right now, all we have to do is just keep it together. Well, getting 2 cars on the last lap, and yeah, unless I make a really big error now, we should be able to do this. And after the start we had, going back to P6, going against this level of competition as well. No, these are good drivers, and the pace was very, very strong in this lobby. Coming through into this last sector now, making sure we don't get any invalidations, anything to affect the safety rating. We're going to maximize the iRacing in here. You can see how much we're actually gaining in our iRacing on the bottom right. And coming through this last corner, just making sure we get a good run, because the slipstream is very powerful. But you can see we actually get a good exit. He goes really wide on the exit of this, and you can see the scream has come back. Unfortunately, we didn't have a microphone, but the scream is well and truly back.
Well done, James. Great win. You deserved that today.
Engineer giving me a pat on the back, and you don't need to be driving the fastest cars to have the most intense racing. And I would even argue the slower the car, sometimes the better battling it is. And we're just going to look at this move one more time. So coming into here, we just let these guys do their thing, because I knew that was really the only opportunity for the red car to get his move done. And you can see the blue car running out wide, and we get such a rocket shot launch, that slingshot here, getting the slipstream absolutely perfectly behind this one. And then we're going to go around the outside, going into this very, very long right-hander. And I was thinking about, should I let him go and then try and go in the hairpin, but I knew this is really my only chance. He's a bit on the dirty side of the track, and coming through here, it's going to be completely side by side, but there is absolutely no way he can hold it around the outside there, and we get the move done coming home in P1. I really hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for the support on the channel. Please like the video if you did, and make sure you click the join button as well if you'd like to race against me on F122. Also like to have a discount on one-to-one sessions at coachlimitless.com, because I have opened up some brand new slots. I'm actually doing more days now and more extra slots throughout the week. So if you want a 90-minute one-to-one with me, whether that's on F1, iRacing, anything you like, then please head over there. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will catch you very, very soon. Peace.